Of course she is. Okay.
Carol is fixing her stool. We were hoping that she would fall off of it so that we could put it on TikTok, and then it would go viral, and more people would watch our podcast.
Hey, anything for the team.
Okay, we're on.
We are? Oh, and that's how you started it?
That's how we started it.
I guess we have to flip this then.
Oh, very good. Look at, we got the sound, we got the
Let me just double check.
to make sure we
I was distracted by the
I think we're
stool
on.
repair.
I see a red light.
This is on. This
As you
is
can
on.
tell, we don't edit here. Hi, I'm Judy.
I'm Carol.
And I am Peggy.
We are the Wildflowers, and this is number 83. And my stool is still a little wiggly, but if I fall, it'll be for the team. So yeah, number 83.
Yes.
Yay. And this has been a crazy summer because we haven't been as programmed to do our
Well, we were very regimental before.
Yes, yeah.
Because we're just having
It's
a lot
the
going
summer.
on. Yeah.
Summer vacation.
Yep, exactly.
You know, going away.
Hi, Cody.
Kids are home from school.
Yep.
I have to go get a paper towel. I just spilled that glass of seltzer that was filled up much too high.
Yeah, apparently I filled the glass way too high.
Peggy's
so
very
yeah.
particular with how much she wants in her glass, and Judy wasn't aware of that, and Judy was being very generous by filling it right to the tippy top.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, lots to talk about today, don't we?
Oh my goodness! Well, this little one here, well, not little. I'm taking care of Cody, which is his head's right here. So I have a dog this
Big
week.
thing to talk about though is we're almost at the 1 month mark until the release of Before She Was a Finley.
Well, thank
Oh.
you. And today, maybe you don't, I don't know if you're
And the
aware.
date of release is
Is-
the first.
Oh please, let's not.
debate.
Oh my God!
I
But there's-
just saw that today.
Yeah, that-
yes,
yeah,
I
that's
was
nervous
annoyed
about
that
that.
it was on the
Anyway,
same
can
day.
I just say something again?
Oh,
It's
sure.
National
No.
Book Lovers Day. Did you know that? It's National Book. So
I
this
did
is
not.
for you.
I should have
And
known.
this is for you.
Oh, they came out so nice.
Wow,
National-
bookmarks with her book
If you
on
read it, review it. Thank you kindly, Carol Honig, carolhonig.com.
And you can
Very nice.
pre-order your book
Yes,
at Barnes & Noble.
My
or
publisher
anywhere.
is eager to
Oh,
have
how
it.
about us? Didn't
Well,
we
yeah,
go
but he
in
would.
for-
Yes, but he wants to see pre-orders come in from
Oh, okay.
bookstores and that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll explain.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
but,
all right. So, oh, there we are.
yeah, but yes, but the debate is on September 10th. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Anything else? My book launch.
No.
But I mean, my book launch is from 6 to 9.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming that usually the debates start around 8 or 9.
I think 9.
I hope it's 9.
Go, Cody, please. Let's stop me playing with the toy.
But when we met last time, I don't think this switch had happened.
No, I don't
this is
know.
new development since last
Exactly,
time.
exactly.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Lots going on.
Yes, I have to say I was relieved that Biden was very selfless and decided not to run again. Yes, I'll talk to you.
I can't talk political talk now.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah.
But I was very pleased, and I'm loving Kamala. I think she's doing great, and I love her VP pick. And then yesterday, watching Trump talk from the Mar-a-Lago without being questioned. The media, shame on the media, because they just let
One
him
of them
ramble.
did question him. It was the person, and I can't remember what the question was, but I just saw that on the news last
Well, he
night.
purposely didn't
So-
want us to hear the questions. He purposely didn't have them mic'd.
Yeah, but one of the journalists did question his answer and say, but I can't remember what the point was now. It was
Right,
last night. And of course afterwards everybody was
Right,
they were
afterward.
double checking everything.
But then they were showing, I don't know if you saw Lawrence O'Donnell, but he really hit the fan because he was furious with his peers because they dropped the ball. He said, he was showing like how they were going after Biden with yelling questions and questioning him and doing it for the, when they were having the conferences or whatever. And yet Trump just gets away with it, and nobody really questions him. And It's a shame. It's really shameful because they've got him. For some reason, he's got them cowed. I don't know why.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think a lot of times it could be an agreement. Like, yes, I'm going to do this press conference, and this is how it's going to run. And this is, he called on people. I had to turn the volume down, and I actually made a phone call to my sister while that was on.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the stamina for him anymore.
No. And
but on the news and, afterwards, I put it on and I saw some of the snippets. And I'm not quite sure that that's the job of a journalist. It's not a debate. They ask a question.
Yeah, but he didn't answer any of the questions. He did not answer. He did not answer any.
He never does. He
exactly,
just goes
and
off
that's
on
why
tangents.
they have. What's going on here, Judy? What do we have?
This is actually a really good segue into what I'm putting out here.
Is this a donkey? Because I have this donkey.
No, these are.
Oh, it's a rhino.
It's hippos. You got house hippos. Do you know what house hippos are?
No.
Oh, I think
It's a perfect segue from what you guys know about. I can't comment political talk, and so I
So
won't. But this is a perfect segue. You're talking about the media.
Yeah.
And house hippo is a term which I've become familiar with. It's something that started in Canada in 1999. Canada premiered an ad showing like a hippo, like a real life hippo, but of course it was like shrunk down. They used the camera tricks. And they were showing it with kids late at night. The house hippo comes out and it nests in your closet and steals your socks and drinks from so it's showing it all through the house. It's a phenomenon, and they reran it recently, and it's there. They ran it to educate children about critical thinking, to teach them to not accept everything they see on TV.
Wow.
That's great.
And to question what they see and hear.
Why don't they create an adult version of that?
Well, I thought like what you guys are talking about with the media, there's a responsibility here.
Absolutely.
And I would think we should have an ad like this. And so people collect these now, these house hippos, and I thought you guys could pick which one you want.
I get to keep one.
Yeah. And it's just to remind us that not everything you see on the media or the news, whatever channel you watch, don't accept that verbatim. You have a responsibility to do your own critical thinking and to challenge what you hear and to challenge what you see. And I think that becomes so much more important in this day and age of AI as well.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
Yes.
So anyway, I just thought if you hear about it or see it,
house hippos.
I never heard about it.
Where did you get these?
I got that at an antique store for like
and you're
$2.
actually giving this?
Yeah. I just started going around and looking at these little.
I love them.
hippos.
You know who would love one of these?
Who?
Griselda.
Oh yeah.
I went when I was in Delaware, we went into this like gem shop out there by the boardwalk, and I bought a donkey made out of the stone, and I put it on my windowsill. So I'll put the hippo. Thank you.
These are called little Wade figures. I guess they're collectible. They have a whole bunch of different animals. I picked out, what I thought were hippos. Some of them might be rhinos. I don't know, but I just figured.
Cool.
So there you go.
Awesome. Very, very nice.
You are.
Well, I have a word that we all know it. We've heard the word before, but it's a word that, we probably don't use that often, but you see it when you're reading. And it also fits in with the conversation with Trump's news conference, if that's what you want to call it, his rants. It was really like a mini rally. Yeah. And it's falderall.
Oh, yes, falderall. Yes.
Falderall. Okay.
And, that day, I looked, and it was like the word of...
or falder? Is it
I think it's fall. I think it's F-O-L-D-E-R-O-L. Falderall.
Falderall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll read the definition if you don't know, what it means. It's mere nonsense, foolish talk, or ideas. And it originated sometime between 1695 and 1705. And it originally referred to a nonsense refrain in a song. It's very obscure, the origin. But then I thought of fa la 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 la. I wonder if they considered that falderall.
That's
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a filler.
Right? Yeah. And it's nonsense. Fa la la la.
Yeah, la la. Yeah. Well, very cool. What else do you have?
I have another word too, if you want.
Have another.
I
I won't look.
Okay, don't look. Don't read mine. It's called antinomian.
Antinomian.
A-N-T-I-N-O-M-I-A-N.
nothing with names, right? Anything about a name?
No, I'll show you where I read it. I brought
Okay.
the book with you because I got this from the library. Read this book. It was awesome. I know I've said it to you before. It's called Reclaiming the Bible for a Non-Religious World by John Shelby Spong.
Right.
Does
Awesome
it have
book.
something to do with a name? Nomian?
No.
That's
No.
what I just said.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
But do you want to know what it
But
is?
that's
I'm
funny.
gonna use it in the sentence. I'll
But
use it in the
that's
sentence.
funny that you
Yeah.
picked up on that.
The speaker's antinomian position was on full display at his rally when he said,
Oh.
I'm forgiven anyway.
Ooh.
Antinomian posture, did you say?
It's called position.
Position. Okay, so it must be like a higher position, antinomian, holier than thou, kind of
it's-
above the law.
It's kind of what we see. I see it now a lot in religion, which is, I guess, turns me off a lot. Is kind of like where the moral law is of no use, no obligation to follow it, because faith alone is necessary to salvation.
Oh, right.
So it's
Yeah.
those people who just believe, I'm a good Christian, I believe in God, but you don't have to follow it or put it into practice.
And you don't have to be a
Sorry.
good Christian either.
Well, no, that's actually, there's two different schools of thought, a lot of different
Yes,
ones here
there's
too,
some.
and
Yeah,
depending
no,
on James, who was Jesus' brother, versus Peter, and all this stuff, so there's
Yeah.
a big split and all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Learned so much, it was such a great
Yeah.
book.
The Presbyterians, they think, is it faith without works is dead? There's different
I've heard something like that.
denominator. That's a
Yeah.
verse, but
We hear a lot of it now.
yeah, exactly.
In politics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where it
Here,
doesn't
Where it's
belong.
as if I believe, and
Yeah.
so I'm higher, and I'll get
Right.
forgiven anyway, so it doesn't matter what I do.
Right.
Well,
Right.
all those
Right.
people who listen to him, or to anyone who spouts conspiracy theories, are bumfoozled. It's another word that I have.
Dying to use that word.
I just realized that I said, "Oh, I have another word."
I have
And
no words.
Bumfoozle is to confuse or fluster, and it's an Americanism dating back to the 1870s, and it's a combination of a Scottish word, bombage, bombage, which is like part of bamboozle. That's where
Right.
bamboozle, came from.
Interesting.
And fuzzle. So it was bombage and fuzzle to confuse an alternative spelling of bamboozle, but it's
Okay.
bumfuzzle.
Very cool.
Do you have any words that mean anything about pouring wine? Do you have any words?
Yes. Cheers.
Slancha.
It's very hot in here.
It really is. I'm gonna have to put the AC.
You're gonna have to, because I am
I'm
sweating.
glad you said that because I felt
Why
the
don't you
same.
pour and then we'll do
Okay.
that. This looks like it's some sort of whiskey barrel wine. Is that what it is?
It's not.
It's not? Because
It's
that's
not.
the same kind
Yeah,
of
well,
bottle.
give me your glass.
Where is my glass? Oh, it's right there.
Oh, Carol already handed it
Yeah.
to me.
Yes.
I can't drink it, so just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not drinking
Oh,
alcohol.
good for you. You have
Yeah.
lip prints on your glass or something.
Yeah, you can. I purposely gave myself that one because when I was putting them out, I was like, I'll screw it. I'll just
It
take it.
smells nice.
Now I saw what kind it was when I took a picture, so.
So it's not
okay.
whiskey barrel, okay.
No, it's not. It's called Three Finger Jack. I'm really being very sloppy today. with
Cabernet
beverages.
Sauvignon.
It's a Cabernet Sauvignon from
I love
California.
the label.
I like the shape of the bottle
Me too.
too.
That's
So
what threw me off.
when I went on vacation, I brought a bottle of. They also make a red blend. I'm a mess, really. They also make a red blend. And that was good.
I love red.
But the Cabernet actually smells better.
It smells delicious.
So let me get my notes out here.
Oh, Cabernet. We'll meet again one day. Okay.
When are you going to start in the next year? Are
I
you?
don't know. I mean, I may.
I mean,
just-
not that you have to. I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
you know what? I'm enjoying my year so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so anyway, Three Finger Jack is a 2021 Cabernet from Lodi, California. And Wine Enthusiast rated it 91.
Oh, that's
Okay,
great.
so you could give it a nice little smell.
Yeah, it smells
Okay.
delicious.
It does smell really good. It smells like it's going to be very
Full-bodied.
full-bodied
Mhm.
Yeah.
with dark fruits and.
It always smells a little honey in here. I don't
Really?
know.
I think maybe there is honey in it.
Well, let's to, what are we cheering to?
Oh,
To
to
September 10th.
Okay, and we're not talking about the debate.
No, we're talking about your book.
Okay,
Right,
Thank you.
Oh, cheers to you.
All right, here we go.
It's got great legs. I saw them on your glass. I didn't do them on mine yet. Yeah, look at those legs. This has a lot of alcohol.
I never can go by the first taste. I always have to take a second taste. But the first taste did go down quite nicely.
It's very smooth. But it does have a little bit of a bite.
Right?
On the roof of your mouth.
Okay. I thought it did too, but my first sip. Sorry, Judy.
No, don't apologize. I'm good to go.
I'll tell you what the aromas are if you want to smell
Yeah.
aromas.
Oh, yeah. I think there's some honey in here.
I don't know if we've ever had honey in our wine before.
I don't know.
I don't recall.
All right, well anyway, the aromas
tea.
are
Like herbs.
blackberry, which is dark fruit, blueberry jam,
Oh.
and allspice.
You know what? I get the allspice. I can pick that up. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting.
Also, for the taste, it's boysenberry confiture,
Okay. So what's the alcohol?
baked
Oh, sorry.
baked black plum,
Oh, wow.
cardamom,
Cardamom.
yeah,
Okay, you nice.
and dark chocolate.
Oh, nice. That sounds like a good
Layers
one.
of dried bay leaf, vanilla cream, and dark fruit bring together silky tannins with a dry finish.
I saw some
And it
sort
does
of
have a
leaf.
very dry finish.
It does, which makes me happy.
Oh, I love dry finish.
Okay.
Okay,
what's-
so what do you? I
Well,
think
what's the alcohol?
13.8.
Oh, 13.8. 14.
Don't drink a lot of it.
Oh.
15.
15. Oh,
This is going to be a fun day.
oh, that's a
Just
good
saying,
one.
Just saying.
That's
Wow.
Yeah. And how much?
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't taste it, so
Well,
I'll be out.
No.
I have a 15. I would say like $25.
Mm. 18.95.
$14.99.
Wow.
I had the Chardonnay. Did I have the Chardonnay? I bought the Chardonnay. I don't know if I drank it yet.
And so do you
Wow.
like it? You haven't said if you liked it. Is it good?
I do like it. There's other ones that I like better.
How many Wildflowers?
All right, Wildflowers, I would give it like 3.75.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
Interesting.
To me, it wasn't.
Wow.
It was smooth, but it smelled great, but it didn't taste as good as it smelled.
Really?
Like I didn't get all the flavors.
I'd give it 4.
Maybe it's me.
Okay.
You know, maybe
4.
it's just my taste buds today.
Could be. That's how mine get. But
But I mean, I wouldn't say it's not a terrible wine. I
no,
mean, it's
I would buy it again.
you know, if I was
For that
somewhere and
What'd you
I
say?
For that price.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4. I don't know if you caught 4 Wildflowers for me.
oh okay,
That's a good score.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, good. Does anybody want to drink?
Well, we should pace ourselves. No,
Okay.
don't give me any more.
All right, so I'll
Leave
talk
it
while
there.
you drink. I'll talk about the book.
So
Okay.
it's your turn. So
Okay.
it just so happens.
I am going to speak about the book called "Every Man Dies Alone" by Hans Fallada. Have you ever heard of
No.
Hans Fallada
No.
or the book?
No.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it here. This was published originally in 1947.
Oh.
And but it was republished back again in 2009, and it reached the bestseller list in the U.S. and U.K. in that
Oh,
year.
really?
How tiny the print is.
I got this at a used bookstore, and when I was visiting Philadelphia, it was a great used bookstore. We spent like over an hour in there.
Wow,
You know,
yeah.
we left with quite a lot of books. This was one of them. I had never heard it before. It was also it also goes by different titles because it was originally published in Germany. In German, sorry.
Alan first reviewed. Gave it a good review. Okay.
And it translated to Alone in Berlin, which was a movie in 2016 with Emma Thompson. I didn't see that movie
Okay.
though.
No.
With
me
the same
neither.
title.
It's called Alone in Berlin. Alone in
okay.
Berlin.
Thank you.
Okay, so this book is based on a true story. Have you ever I've read a lot of books about World War II, and the Germans, but the effects on but from the Jewish perspective. This is a book written from the perspective of Germans.
Oh, okay.
And it was set in 1940, so.
Excuse me, it's a novel or a nonfiction?
It's a novel.
It's a novel. Okay.
It's a novel, but the characters there's a lot of characters in the book because it portrays the life of many inhabitants in a neighborhood during 1940, right? But there's a main kind of couple, and they're called Otto, and did I write down their name? Otto Quengle is the husband, and Anna Quengle is the wife. But their characters are based on a real life couple called Otto and Elise Hampel, who, acting alone, they became part of the German resistance. And this is one of the very first anti-Nazi novels to be published by a German after World War II.
Oh, wow.
Because it was published in 1947,
Yeah.
and World War II had just ended.
It was fresh in everybody's mind.
Yeah, and I'll tell you a little bit about the author in a minute, but anyway, so their act of civil disobedience was, this is going to sound familiar because it's something we're going to be doing, is postcard writing.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that postcard writing, urging people to resist and overthrow Nazis? And they did this the real life couple did it for about a year before they were betrayed, arrested, tried, and executed.
And that's very different from what we're doing. We're sending postcards to fellow citizens to get out the vote.
Right.
Like vote for this candidate or just vote,
Right.
But in their case, Hitler was in charge, so there was no voting for,
But what I loved about it, because it brings you into a neighborhood, working class neighborhood. There are different people with different lifestyles, different viewpoints, and just like us, divisiveness, exists right in your neighbor. Your neighbor next to you might not think the same way you do. And this is a building where people lived upstairs to downstairs, and so they had to be very careful because Hitler was in power at this point in time. Now, the fictional couple lost their son in the war, their only child, and that just kind of set Otto, who was normally very detached, looked the other way all of the time, didn't say anything. Just something snapped in him, and he wasn't an educated man. He couldn't, a lot of his postcards were misspelled. They still have some of his postcards, real life, you could go see in museums.
Oh, cool.
Misspellings, but just, writing things, and he would walk around and leave them in different places. And he had to be very careful not to be seen.
Right.
Yeah. And so, that was his way of a passive resistance, and his wife helped him do a lot of the writing and sometimes do the delivering. And what I loved about the novel is that it showed you what things happen, which sound familiar in a way that's happening today, about how loyalty in workplaces and in neighborhoods, everything from PTAs to school boards to your local union or Knights of Columbus or whatever, is being rewarded, and you're getting rewarded for loyalty to a political position rather than merits. Exactly. Or doing a job. But like Otto was the best at his job. He worked in like a woodworking craftsman, the best. He was master kind of carpenter, but he was getting passed over because he wasn't paying the dues to the Nazi party. He just refused to join, but he didn't actively speak out. And then you'd have these lowlifes who were awful workers, but because they were paid their dues and were, hail Hitler, and very pro-Nazi, they got promoted all the way down. And I think we're starting to see similar things throughout, here. And it's just so interesting to see how it started here. And I found myself more than once forgetting what time period I'm listening to. It got really interesting. And just so, anyway, I thought it was a really, really good book to show that, there was a lot of spying on neighbors, and how looking at the other way and not saying anything is just as bad as supporting the party. And that's what happened to the German people. There were so many that looked the other way and just wanted to stay quiet.
Yeah, because everybody was afraid. That's why
They were
afraid.
And they, I mean, but then you see it here, and they did, well, the ending, no shocker, because it's based on true story. They did die, you know.
Right.
But things change, and because you have people willing to be brave and passively resist in some different ways, that there's hope. Resistance can lead to hope, and I think that's the underlying message of this book.
Phrase, resistance can lead
to hope. And
there's something vaguely like that going on in Bangladesh right now, where they deposed their president, that woman Hasina, because she was like, she cut some people out of these government jobs. Like you have to be a certain person to get them, and I forget the parameters. I'm sorry, I sound like an idiot. But I read about it a couple of weeks ago. And there were protests.
I know.
And they got her out of that country. They took her in a helicopter, and she had to leave. They went into her house.
Bye-bye.
Yep. So we'll see what happens
there.
Very
interesting.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the author.
Oh, yes, Virgo. Hans Fallada, never heard of him. He was not exactly a resistance fighter himself, but he lived through World War II in Germany while this was all going on, and was a witness. Now, he had a lot of different books. Some of his books were banned by the Nazis during it, but he wasn't a supporter, but he wasn't not a supporter either. He actually did some stuff that were pro-Nazis too. So he's a very complex kind of character. But he was given this assignment after by I think it was a journalism friend of his who had gotten the folders of some stories and got the folder of this couple and said, here, you might find something interesting in here to write about. And he did. He was really moved by their story, and he wrote this book. And this is a thick book with really small writing, I have to say.
And you read the whole thing.
I read the whole intimidating thing. When you look at it.
I couldn't put this book down. That's how I read this book quickly, and I couldn't put the book down. It was so good. He wrote this book in 24 days.
Oh my God!
And then he died a few months later, weeks before the novel was published.
Oh,
that's sad.
It is sad because
very, very sad.
It's a well-written book for 24 days. This book is very well written.
That's amazing.
And it's got such an important story and message. I really encourage everybody to read this book just to get. I mean, like I said,
could you say the title?
Oh,
again?
sure. It's called "Every Man Dies Alone" by Hans Fallada. And like I said, I thought I knew positions, but I read a lot from the from the Jewish perspective. But I realized I hadn't read the other side from the citizens. And I loved that it gave me this perspective. It's such a, as I'm hugging it, I'm like, I love that. I love when it teaches me something and gets me to look at something in a different way.
Did you think of The Sunflower, that book at all?
I thought of it as soon as she started talking about it.
I did a little bit, but again, Sunflower was written from the Jewish perspective. This doesn't get into the concentration camps. This just gets into what was going on in Berlin. It does go a little bit into the suburbs a little bit because some of the characters try to escape Berlin and go to, but it's still there. Out in the suburbs, they're surrounded by spies. Everybody's spying on each other. And you get, like, what kills me is that they get favors for you're turning them in. Your neighbor will turn you in, and then you'll get curry favor with the Nazi party and so forth.
Horrible.
And even in jail, the favors go that way too. So the prisoners will still, they're turning everybody in as well. So it's.
How many Wildflowers?
5, definitely.
5 out of 5.
And I've read I read this a few months ago, and I've read a few books since, but I just was like, this one came right. I still remembered it. Okay. So it's a very good book.
Thank you, Judy. That's awesome.
That's my
very,
review.
very cool.
So who has the subject?
I do. I have the topic. I know that you two don't know what it is.
No, we don't.
I didn't share it. Can you guess?
Your novel?
Something about dogs.
Oh.
Louis.
Is it about this one in particular?
About all 3 of mine, I decided, because I know that you hear me sometimes complaining, oh, you hear the dogs and I'm yelling at them during the podcast, and I thought, you know what, I think I want to introduce my dogs and describe how I ended up with them.
Great time.
And I don't know if you can see the picture of what Louis looked like.
You should post it on there before and after.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Let me find it. I don't know if you can see it.
I don't know if I hold it closer how it'll look.
Yeah.
He's such a good boy.
But Lewis,
I was wondering why you picked up Lewis. I said he's such a good boy. That's how Lewis looked when he was found
Yep.
on the streets of Baltimore.
yep, exactly. And he was saved by Yorkie 911. And at the time, I was fostering dogs. I was fostering a lot of dogs. I don't foster as much now. I do dog sitting. I get paid now for that. But Peggy will tell you, because when I saw his picture, even how he looked there, I said, I want that little guy. I don't know. That's how I lean toward dogs that are in need.
Underdogs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So he came. Did he come with the name Lewis?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
because
I
you
thought
were
you did.
choosing between the names. No, because
Oh, wait,
I know
are you-
I wanted Louis, and you like Lewis.
I liked Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was his name though, Lewis.
No.
It might have been. 'Cause are you
I
getting
think it
mixed up
was.
with Logan? Because
No,
Logan was.
no.
I want.
And Lacey too. She had a different name.
Yeah,
She was Lulu.
No, she was Tabitha.
Oh, Tabitha.
They
That's
gave her a
right.
cat
Yeah.
name.
I don't know, but anyway.
I
that's
think
fine.
Lewis was Lewis, and then we were deciding between calling him Louis.
Louis
Did you
or
catch
Lewis.
that? We were deciding because these guys are very active. And real quick, how is Flower doing?
She's still with me. She's
Oh,
doing
okay.
great. Still no takers on her,
Oh,
unfortunately.
Oh, that woman didn't have a visit.
No, she didn't call back, and
Oh.
but anyway, she's she's doing much better than where she was, and that's
Okay.
So what can we do? But
So,
no regrets.
No, so when Lewis is the first one that I've got, the 3 that I have now, and he's got some medical issues. He's got a problem with this one eye.
I noticed that
He
today.
will not let me go near it at all. But he is just the sweetest little boy.
And he has a little button nose.
Yeah.
I love his nose.
And I've had him now for 4 years, maybe. How long have I been living here? Because I didn't have him when I was living in.
No, you got him here.
Yeah, so I think about 4 years I've had him. And again, I got him through Yorkie 911. It's a rescue, and they rescue dogs that are 15 pounds and under, and not just Yorkies,
Right.
obviously, because he's not a Yorkie. But yeah, so this is Lewis, and now I'm going to introduce you to the second one, which is Lacey.
Do you want to sit at the
And
end?
she's, no, it's fine. It's up to you. It's whatever.
Rescue Yorkie 911 is a wonderful organization. We actually had Heidi on here.
That's
She
right, we
runs
did.
Yorkie 911.
Yeah.
Lacey,
And
it's your turn.
She does a lot of
It's
good
your
work.
turn.
and-
She does a lot of good work. She actually sold her original house and bought a bigger house.
For the dogs.
And because of all the dogs that
Oh,
she
I
has
love
at
that
one
about
time.
her. That's wonderful.
So, this is
This is
Lacey.
our girl.
Oh, my
She's
little
such a
girl.
Now,
sweetheart.
let Judy and Peggy tell you the story of Lacey. All right, you two decide how you're going to tell the story. You got there first. 'Cause
Yes,
they were-
that's right.
So it was
That's
at PetSmart, and they were having a meet and greet with all these dogs that they rescued
From Yorkie 911.
Yes, but from Puerto Rico. A lot they
Yes.
flew in from Puerto Rico. And so Peggy came with me, but Judy was already there. Go ahead, Judy.
And there was a bunch of dogs. I don't remember the other ones. I just remember her.
Mm-hmm.
She was turning around and around. And there was a lot of people, and she was just turning nervously
Yeah.
around and around.
She's
and
a
it,
nervous
She still
girl.
does it.
it broke
Yeah.
my heart to see that. And I have her in my
baby.
arms already when you came.
Yes, when
Did
we
she?
came in,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you was holding on.
Yes.
And
Or you brought us directly over, but I
Yeah.
think that you were holding her.
What did she say?
She said you have to take her
Yeah.
home. So then people are walking around because it's a meet and greet for people
Yes.
to foster or adopt a dog. And Judy's holding her and she's
And
telling
she was
me,
very good in my arms.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she said nobody's getting this dog.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Yeah, so we were telling Carol, both of us, you have to take her home. You just have to take her home. So people would walk past Judy with the dog and say, oh, we must her name. She goes, no, she's already spoken
She's
for.
So Heidi, the woman that's in charge, she looked at me, she goes, you're taking her? And she rolls her eyes like, is there something wrong with you, Carol? And because the woman that was fostering her, taking care of her, didn't want to let her go, even though she wasn't going to keep her.
Yeah, she wasn't going to adopt her.
Right. And so
Yeah.
I had to commit that day, then and there, that I was going to commit to adopting her. And she had major health issues, but I didn't have to pay for them because she was through Yorkie 911. She had to have ear surgeries. But she's a puppy mill dog.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the term. You're licking my...
She's a licker.
Yeah. She was used for breeding, and they're kept in a little cage, never let out. So this is why we are assuming she constantly walks in circles.
Yeah.
Still.
She
And I've had her.
runs around.
And she's had her for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, and she still does.
And she doesn't like being held either.
No.
Like she's
No.
squirmy now.
She
That's
always
not really,
wants
but
to
she's
get
friendly,
down.
But she's
a
friendly.
very friendly dog.
Yes.
But
And
she
I love
she
her so
demands
much.
from
I
Judy
really
when
do.
Judy when Judy shows up. She demands from Judy a TREAT.
Yeah.
Very loud, shrill bark. And there was something else I was going to say about her. I can't remember it now, but she.
That she's a good girl.
She is
Her
a
little
good
tongue
girl.
is always sticking
Yes,
out.
yes, her little tongue is always sticking out.
Of course, now she's making a lawyer out of
What's
us.
up with that?
I know, it's
That's
never in a mouth.
No, it's never. She's like, and there was something else I was going to. Oh, there you are. There you are. Yeah, and all my dogs have to be groomed, so that's a lot of fun. Yeah, Peggy helped me over the holidays to try.
Oh my God, sometimes she pulls her grooming table out into the kitchen with all of her equipment. And these dogs look like hell when we get finished with them.
I'm gonna put her down.
Yeah. Okay.
Sherlock's right here.
Oh, you got you. Can you hand him?
I think. Will you let me pick him up?
Oh, of
Is he
course.
all comfortable?
Oh yeah, he'll let you pick him up.
Yeah, he's heavy, be prepared.
Yeah. Now, so this is my last one that I ended up adopting.
Oh, who's my buddy?
Yeah,
He's a chunkamunk.
Yeah, he is. This is Sherlock. And Sherlock is such a good boy too. He was in a kill shelter in Georgia, and there goes Lacey scratching her ear. I think that's also a nervous thing with her,
Yeah.
but it's also she has ear issues. But so
He's a
Sherlock.
Shih Tzu, it looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
So when Peggy came with me to Heidi's to pick up a dog to foster, he was there and his one eye was all closed up, and so they thought it was missing. They didn't think he had 2 eyes. They thought he had. And so Heidi was like, "Oh, I'm too nervous to try to soak it because he growls at me." And so when I got him home or whatever, I got him used to every night I soaking his eye, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, he has an eye." And so when I brought him to a meet and greet at Eisenhower Park, because I hadn't officially said I was going to keep him, Heidi.
Did I go with you? I didn't go with you.
No, actually Jason and Anya went with me. So Heidi saw him, she goes, "He's got 2 eyes." Oh my gosh, we thought he was missing an eye. And I said, "No." And then so this is when I knew I wasn't giving him up, because he was on my lap like this, and I feel like he was a lot lighter then, because he's
he's a chunk now.
Yeah. And it's not like I overfeed him, but whatever. He doesn't exercise, I guess, enough. But anyway, so when he was sitting on my lap and people were coming over and interested in him, Heidi said to me, "Oh my God, is he growling at them?" And I went, "No, it's me." And she goes, "You?" I said, "Yeah, I'm growling." Get away from my boy. And the funny thing is that this one, well, both of them, when we were doing the podcast, and I hadn't officially said I was going to adopt him, they're like, "Oh, he's at home here. Oh, you can't let him go." And then we had a psychic who was a guest here.
That's right.
And Mickey, and so Judy says to Mickey, "Is she keeping the dog?" And he goes, "I guess so." I don't think that was a psychic ability. I think he just saw what was going on. So I don't do foster right now anymore. And I feel a little guilty about it, but I do dog sitting.
But you have 3 dogs, and
3.
you have other people's dogs in your house.
And there's a
so.
dog upstairs too.
Yes, I have a grand dog. Hi, sweetheart.
Aw,
He is
he's
such a great, and
He
he
said,
fits
"Mom,
right
what?
in.
What's going on? I'm never on the podcast. You usually make me go lay down."
That's so true. Lacey's the one that's the issue. But right now we have Cody. Cody is a big dog, but we can't pick up Cody.
Come here, Cody.
Cody, can you stick up your head?
Come here, Cody. Can you jump up here?
Cody's
You
a
probably
big...
don't want to encourage him
No,
to jump up.
yeah, no.
Because he wanted to do that when I walked
Did you
in.
want to do
Yeah.
that? He's such a good boy.
He's got to weigh like 100 pounds, that dog.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big
He's
boy.
right. So I just thought, you know what, you hear me yelling about my dogs when we're on the podcast. So sometimes they're very disruptive. They bark, and like Peggy and Judy say, we're very authentic on the podcast, but it does bother me that they're disruptive. But they're family, they're my babies, and
they're really usually pretty good anyway.
I guess I'm just more aware of it.
When you get up or start yelling them, that's more disruptive than they are. You should just let them do it.
Go and ignore it.
Well,
unless they don't stop, then that's a different thing. So.
Well, I just want to encourage everyone out there: adopt, don't shop. I mean, I do know that like I have a grand puppy that's a full breed. I have a couple of them. And I get it, my son wanted a Cocker Spaniel. There are rescues for full breed dogs, obviously.
Absolutely.
But for me personally, because I've always had the personality of I want to help the underdog, as Peggy called it. So I'm Yorkie 911. But check in your area what rescue places there are. And what's the name of yours?
Peace Love Rescue New York, and there's a lot of shelters. Even as well, 1/3 of the animals in shelters are purebreds as well. So, I mean, I don't see the fascination with purebreds. I never had. To me, it's like there's people who have to have the Michael Kors bag. It's just like. I feel like if you're that focused on a breed, do you really want the animal?
Well, the only thing is that with Corey is that there was a tornado alert. Interesting. Corey, my daughter, when she was doing research, she was doing like what would fit in best in an apartment in the city. And I get that there's certain breeds that you wouldn't want to have, in an apartment or whatever. If she doesn't have children, but like if you have children, there's good dogs with that. But I watched an old game show. I'm addicted to this old game show called To Tell the Truth. And on it, about 3 weeks ago, it had a woman on that started a new dog breed, Tibetan Spaniels. And it was all about these new breeds, and they came out and it looked just like Harpo, my other sort of dog, because he's my grand dog now because my daughter stole him. But I think he's definitely a Tibetan Spaniel, but it was a relatively new breed.
They're making so many new breeds. They're just crossing.
Yeah.
It's just a mutt.
Yeah.
There's another word for a mutt.
That's true. So that's my topic. I wanted to do something a little lighthearted. I wanted to do it to share my story with my dogs and how much I love them. And that's it.
I know a rescue that my sister Maureen, that's where she got Sadie from, and she's always sharing, their dogs that they have up for adoption or fostering, and it's called Save a Pet.
Oh,
and it's out in Ronkonkoma. Yep.
We did a huge fundraiser for them at Borders Levittown.
Oh, okay.
I worked there.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah, cool.
I know that we used to do Last Hope all the time.
Yeah.
At
No, I
Borders,
remember
we
Last
used to do the
Hope.
gift wrapping. We used to let them do the gift wrapping on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
And the day before, and they used to
And we
make
did
a
one
lot
for
of money.
Vitawe, which is not here.
Yeah.
It used to be one on One Top. But
Yeah.
Save a Hope, they've been around for a very long time.
Vitawe, I don't know the name of Vitawe, but Vitawe is where I got Logan. Because
Yes.
Logan...
Vitawe is right on Wandsworth Avenue.
They closed that
Belltown.
location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they closed that location.
Yeah.
They
There
had
might be one out
the
east,
veterinarians there were awesome because I had to bring Logan back every week because I was still just fostering him and he had a broken leg. Some man harmed him.
Oh, he just looks up at you. He said, "Oh, Mom, you're so nice to the other doggies."
So
Such a
yeah,
story.
but that's my story. So this is number 83, and thank you for watching.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Judy.
You're
for
welcome.
I like the wine.
Oh,
Just
good.
saying. Very
Enjoy
much
it.
so. I am.
I like the idea of the wine.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. What a good boy.